Our story starts with a leaked text thread discussing an upcoming event called The Hunt. It sounds like edgy, dark internet roleplay until the screen cuts to a sleek, private bunker where a confused man suddenly wakes up. A guy steps up to comfort him, helping him to the ground, only to brutally plunge a pen right into his neck. The bleeding is horrific. And just when you think it can't get any worse, a woman named Athena walks into the room, looks at the dying man, and drives the sharp heel of her stiletto directly into his eye socket, popping it out like it's nothing. If you think that's sick, hold on to your seats, because the real game hasn't even started yet. Next thing we know, a young woman wakes up in the middle of a dense, quiet forest, her mouth gagged tight with a heavy leather belt. She crawls out of the brush and realizes she isn't alone. A dozen other strangers are wandering around, all bound the exact same way. In a nearby clearing, they spot a massive wooden crate. They pry it open, expecting a monster, but out hops a harmless little piglet. Inside the crate is an arsenal of weapons, shotguns, knives, pistols. They find a key, unlock their gags, and for a split second, they think they have a fighting chance to defend themselves. That's exactly when the sky rains bullets from a distance. The pure chaos that follows is a masterclass in survival horror. One girl tries to run but plummets into a hidden pit, impaling herself on rows of sharp wooden spikes. A guy rushes over and pulls her out, but as they sprint for cover, he steps on a landmine. The explosion completely tears her lower body apart. Desperate to escape the unimaginable agony, she grabs his gun and pulls the trigger on herself. The remaining survivors scatter into the woods, but the entire grid is rigged. Arrows fly from unseen directions, and explosives finish off anyone left standing. Eventually, 3 blood-soaked survivors manage to scramble past a massive wire fence and stumble onto a quaint, dusty gas station. Inside, a sweet elderly couple offers them shelter, warmth, and food. It feels like a miracle, a safe haven. But in a world like this, kindness is the deadliest trap of all. One of the survivors eagerly eats a powdered donut from the counter, only to start choking and drop dead. It was laced with cyanide. Before the other 2 can even process the horror, the old couple calmly slide on gas masks and flood the room with lethal nerve gas. They mop up the blood, bag the bodies, and wipe the counters clean, completely unbothered. They are part of Athena's hunting team, and they are just getting warmed up. But then, a woman named Crystal walks into the shop. Crystal is different from the others. She's calm, hyper-observant, and completely unfazed by the isolation. She asks for a pack of cigarettes, and when the old lady hands her the change, Crystal pauses. She looks at the coins, looks at the couple, and without a single word, pulls her gun and blows them both away. Why? Because Crystal is from Mississippi, and she knows cigarettes in Arkansas cost exactly $6, meaning the couple lied about where they were. They messed with the wrong woman. Crystal steps outside, instantly spotting a trap wire hooked to an explosive under a nearby truck. She teams up with another survivor named Gary, and together, they hop a passing freight train. The train is packed with what looks like regular refugees, but Gary is convinced they're crisis actors hired by the hunters to throw them off. When military forces ambush the train and separate everyone, an actor actually confesses to Gary that the setup is fake and he's just a paid performer. But before Gary can celebrate being right, the actor pins a live grenade to his vest, blowing him to pieces. Crystal gets taken to a nearby military camp, where a seemingly nice guy offers to drive her to safety. But during the journey, he repeatedly praises the genius and wealth of the hunters. Crystal's internal alarm bells go off. She suddenly kicks him out of the moving car and drives right over him, crushing him to death. The other prisoner with her panics, screaming that she just killed their only savior. But when they check the trunk, they find Gary's cold corpse hidden inside. Crystal's instincts are flawless. She turns to the remaining survivor and drops a chilling twist on the classic turtle and rabbit story. In her version, the turtle wins, tracks the rabbit home, and brutally murders its entire family. She tracks the hunters back to their high-tech command center. Using the element of surprise, she systematically hunts the hunters, taking them down one by one in a relentless wave of calculated violence. She beats their elite military trainer to a bloody pulp, but just as she's about to finish him, a radio rings. It's Athena, the mastermind, calling the survivor who is standing right next to Crystal, asking if he successfully eliminated her yet. Another betrayal. Crystal doesn't even hesitate. She turns around and eliminates him on the spot. After torturing the dying trainer for Athena's exact location, determination, she sets off for the final boss. Now, why did all of this happen? Flashback to 1 year ago. Athena and her wealthy friends were just high-powered corporate executives joking in a private group chat about hunting citizens for sport. But that chat got leaked. The public outrage ruined their careers, canceled them, and destroyed their lives. Consumed by bitter revenge, they decided if the world was going to treat them like monsters, they might as well become them. They built the hunt to execute the specific internet trolls who ruined them. Crystal breaches Athena's luxury mansion, expecting an ambush, but finds Athena calmly cooking a gourmet meal in a pristine kitchen. They sit down, and Athena smugly lists off Crystal's entire internet history, mocking her background. Crystal listens quietly before delivering the ultimate psychological blow. Athena has the wrong Crystal. It turns out, the masterminds messed up the paperwork. They kidnapped a battle-hardened military veteran who just happened to share the same name as an internet troll. What follows is a savage, no-holds-barred kitchen brawl. Pots shatter, knives fly.
That was good.
And both women tear each other apart until they are bleeding out on the floor from exhaustion. With one final brutal push, Crystal overpowers Athena, leaving her dead. As she stands victorious, she looks out the window and sees a rabbit, a nod to her twisted fairy tale. The turtle won. Crystal cleans her wounds, slips into Athena's expensive designer clothes, pours a glass of high-end champagne, and boards Athena's private jet with her dog, leaving the nightmare behind. Talk about an insane case of mistaken identity. If you suddenly found yourself targeted by a group of elite hunters, what would be your ultimate survival strategy to make it out alive? Thanks for watching.